Hi guys, it's Kalil from Team Shift here, and today we're going to be doing a Chimera Illusion deck profile. I recently took this to locals on Saturday and Sunday, and we managed to go XO with it over the weekend. We only dropped one game, so not even a match, which was really nice. And the deck really performed for me this weekend. I really enjoyed how it was playing and how consistent it can be and how easy it is to kill with this deck. And honestly, if you're like a budget player, this deck is really affordable for what it is right now. I guess as I'm saying this, cards are going up, but like the actual baseline of this deck is relatively cheap. So I would definitely recommend it if you're someone who's looking to either get back into the game or just want to pick up another deck to play that isn't too expensive. The actual core for it is so cheap. But I just wanted to showcase what I've been playing over the weekend. Maybe it gives you a foundation as well if you do want to make it this deck. And then, you know, just get some thoughts and ideas. And I'm looking to get ideas of what other people have been playing too. So if you like this kind of content, you know, let me know. And if you have any questions, comment in the video as well. But anyway, we'll get on with the deck profile now. Let's get on with the main deck first. It is 40 cards. I always tend to just go for 40 unless there is some reason I want to play more than that. But for the monsters, we'll just start with the illusions, which is the 3 Mirror Sword and the 3 Cornfield. And then for the Chimera, the Chimera cards, it's the Gazelle, the King of Magical Claws, 2 Big Winged Performer, and then 3 Chimera Fusion as well to just complete the package. So in terms of ratios, it seems that people have kind of caught on that this card is essentially a brick on its own. Even though it is really good and it gives you so much advantage, I have just decided 2 is the best ratio for this one. I've seen some people start to drop this to 2, but I do think 3 is still necessary. You can normal summon it to add Chimera Fusion, and if you have Big Performer in hand, you can just do the full play anyway. Or you could just add a Big Performer if you have a Poly in the hand, and that's still good anyway, just to get the advantage going. These cards are really broken. This card is just a plus, literally like a plus 6, 7, 8, or whatever on its own. It's insane. And this card just gets this card, which is the plus. Or it can get you a piece that you're missing sometimes. I really like that. So this package just really goes in. And Chimera Fusion not being once per turn is really, really insane. Like if you open multiples of it, it can just get you generate so much advantage to get you pluses. It's so insane. The amount of times you could just OTK with this card or make Guardian Chimera in your opponent's turn is just so much free pluses. It's insane. And then I also played the Frightfur Patchwork package. So I played the 2 Patchwork, 2 Edge Chain, and then 2 Poly. This being a Fiend is really important because you can make the Fusion, the Phantom Beast. It requires a Fiend, just a Fiend and a Beast, so you can generically make it with any Fiend and Beast. So sometimes you use this and Gazelle to make it, and then you add the Poly for like maybe a Chimera in their turn, something like that, or like just to get the plus, or maybe if you can't get to perform it in some way. So in terms of like synergy, this works really, really well, and even just a piece for Chimera anyway is just strong. And then I also played this package. It's a smaller package than what I've seen, but I just played the 3 Branded Fusion, 1 Kit, and then 1 Albaz. The logic being is that this on its own is full combo anyway. It gets you to what you want to get to. As long as I'm able to get the Fusion on the field and a Mirror Knight, I feel really safe. So even though you could play, for example, you could play Branded in White with this too, if you wanted to get to Mirror Jade and get to Phantom Beast at the same time. But I do think that just playing this like a little small package with more like disruptive cards in your deck, in your main deck, like hand traps and things, is more important. And I like the way it works because a lot of people, if they don't know you're playing Chimera, they will just ash this and it doesn't matter. Like that's the best thing about it. It's not the be all end all with this deck. It's just playing a small little package. So sometimes you even just use this to get to Mirror Jade. Like if you've done all your things or you use this first and it goes through, you're like, oh, I've already got 4 pieces. Let me just make Mirror Jade anyway, which you can just do in this deck. I really do like this little package, and I don't think I would take it out. And I tried the Branded in White for a week, but I didn't like that you can just kind of draw it and it doesn't really do much sometimes. So I don't think it's needed. And then for the non-engine, we played 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Veiler, 2 Nib, and 2 Droll. So I'm kind of just a bit wishy-washy on these cards right now. I'm not too sure which one's better, so I'm just testing both and seeing which one works. And if I'm being real with you, they both seem quite strong, but it might just be because of the locals I'm playing at right now. A lot of people just tend to play into Nib really hard, and then that's just it. So I just think, why not play it for locals? Droll has been really, really good for me too, but for pretty much the same reason that Nib would have been good. Like the decks that lose to Droll seem to be losing to Nib as well most of the time. I played Veiler over Imp, by the way, just because it's a target for Chimera Fusion. Like if you want to make Guardian Chimera in their turn, it's just a monster, so it's a little bit better, even though you can get talents. And then also, sometimes you are just drawing cards in their turn with Guardian Chimera, and if you draw in permanents, you can't use it, and you can use Veiler, so I think this one's better to play. This could maybe be Mourner, but I'm not playing against things like Pearly right now in my locals. Not consistently anyway, so that's why I'm not playing Mourner, but it's definitely an option to play. And then for the rest of the non-engine, we play the 3 Super Poly, and then the 2 Tactics. Super Poly is, I don't think I'm going to even get into it. It's broken. No. The card is insane. I'm not going into it. But talents, I do think this card is really good right now. A lot of people are playing hand traps and just, disruptive things in general. And you can use it as a going second card, which I like, but also a few times it just helps you going first too. It just extends your plays. There's one time today, for example, my opponent Ash Blossomed my Frightfur package when I used it, and then I just Talanced and then drew 2 cards and actually drew into a Mirror Sword, and I was able to play. And I'll be honest with you, I was hoping it would just hash it because I had no play. It was nice. And then for the extra deck now, for the Chimera stuff, we just played the 1 Illusion Beast, 2 Phantom Beasts, and then we'll put a Guardian Chimera here because of course Chimera, 2 Guardian Chimera. So originally when we first started and we were just kind of getting the gripe of this deck, just understanding it, we were playing 3 of this and 2 of this just because we didn't really know what we were doing. But as you play it more, you realize that you probably only go into this once or twice a game anyway, and the third one really doesn't come up. Because after you've gone into this once or twice, you're probably not going to... If you're resolving this effect in the graveyard twice, you've probably won the game anyway, let's be real. If that's happening, something's gone relatively wrong. But yeah, it feels really powerful, just at 2, and that's completely fine. If I ever find a line in the future that requires you to go through 2, maybe we bump this up to 3, and I was thinking about some lines today that might come up, so maybe. But for now, 2 seems completely fine. This card's really good at OTKing. People don't know what it does, but essentially, in case you don't know what this does, what it can do is it requires an illusion card and this card to fuse. So, but you can use 1 or more illusion monsters, and depending on how many illusion monsters you use, it gets an extra attack. And when it attacks a monster at the end of the battle phase, it can turn the monster to attack and make it 0 attack. And if you don't know the gimmick of illusions, illusions can't kill things by battle, so they just don't die. So if this attacks your monster with 3,100 attack into a 0 attack monster, and it can't die multiple times, well, there you go. And then for the branded stuff, we played the 2 Mirror Jade, 2 Albion, 1 Lubellion, and 1 Rimbrum. I think because of the package we play, in future I might bump this down a little bit. In terms of what I would change, I might just genuinely take out either 1 of each of these and then plus 2 more fusions, which I'll get into in a moment. Or maybe just minus 1 Albion and keep 2 Mirror Jade, because you can still get into Mirror Jade twice, I believe, anyway. But regardless, I'm never going into these more than once, and even if I get to a point in Mirror Jade where Albion's out of my deck, I can probably just send the Rimbrum anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah. For the Super Poly targets, we played Dryo, Mud, and Garura. We will play Draco Aqueous, but we just simply don't have one at the moment. I've purchased one. It's coming in a day or 2 on eBay, but I think that's maybe what we take out for like the Albion and the Mirror Jade, for example. Like an Aqueous at least would go in for one of those cards. And the last card we played was the Magnum the Reliever. I think this card is really, really good. It's a really cool new card to come out there. Not many people are talking about right now, but I really do like this card effect in general, especially in a deck that uses so many different types of fusions. Like you're playing Branded Fusion, Chimera Fusion, Polymerization, and Super Poly, and it interacts with this card. You're playing 3 of each of those cards, except Polymerization, which you're playing 2. So 11 spells in your deck that can interact with this card. It lets you draw a card and it lets you pop a card. And the pop effect is when another card effect activates, which is it's just so cool because when you have Mirror Sword out on the field, you can essentially activate the pop effect at will, which is really nice. And then also, like putting your fusions back, like your actual fusion spells, is like really cool. Like it can come up sometimes. For the side deck, I played 3 Cosmic just because it is generic and I always play it at the moment. I respect back row decks and I respect Floodgates. Play 3 Dark Ruler just because this deck can easily just Dark Ruler, break a board, and then remake a board, which is really, really easy with this deck. It doesn't take much. If you open like a Polymerization, a Chimera Fusion with your setup, it's fine. Like you just pop off. We play 3 Anti-Spell. I might try Judgment next week because I do think that obviously this can turn off my stuff too. But I do think Anti-Spell is a very, very, very powerful card right now. Like probably one of the best side cards at the moment. So I do think it warrants being side decked. D-Barrier is on option 2 at the moment, but I think Anti-Spell is just a little better because D-Barrier doesn't hit absolutely everything, but it does hit a lot right now. We also played the Bestials because I respect Despia, Dragon Link, and all that jazz. There's quite a lot of them at my locals in general too, so I'll always be playing these. If it's not these, it'll sometimes be the bells, just because maybe if Despia becomes popular and they're using the gimmick popular game, because I do respect that too. And then I played one Nibiru just because I didn't really know what the 15 card should be. I couldn't find my Harpy's Feather Duster, so I was like, just put this in as another option. And like I said, people in my locals tend to like play decks that summon 5 a lot, so worth it. And then the last card I played is King Tiger Wanghu. I have not used this yet, like in person. I've used it on DB a few times and it's been really nice when it comes up. But the idea of it is it hits things that have low attack. So think Sprite Pearly is the main deck this card hits. It's really, really cool. And it's really hard to play through. Like Pearly just essentially has to have the quick play spell that makes it not be destroyed by battle. I think a card effect, I believe. I'm not sure if that really works on it though. I'm not too sure. But regardless, it's really good. It is a really, really good card. I really like it. And you can special summon it on their turn essentially with the so essentially how it works is you can just special summon it with this card, because it just says banish itself, target a beast, illusion, or fiend monster, special summon it. So really, really nice in that regard. But yeah, that's what I've came up with so far. In terms of changes, I might change the hand trap ratio a little bit as we go along, just in terms of non-engine. That's mainly like the draws and the nibs. But overall, the deck has been quite solid for me. I really, really like how it's been performing, and I'm kind of pumped for the new season, to be honest, of Yu-Gi-Oh, to see how this deck performs like in things like regionals. But yeah, if you like this video, please comment, rate, subscribe. Please go to our sponsors shop as well, Zombie Game Cafe, and then you can use our discount code SHIFT5 as well. But thank you and goodbye.